Is it time for the Pittsburgh Steelers to move on from George Pickens?
Woo! This is tough because if you've been following us for a while, I love George Pickens. I've loved him. I loved him going in this year fantasy wise. I loved him last year just from a player standpoint. I thought they had one of the best young receivers, and I was riding for him every single game this year until this last one. This last one, that left a very, very, very bad taste in my mouth because this is coming from a person that I've played sports, you've all played sports. It's a family. We go fight for each other, and sometimes you're gonna be asked to make a sacrifice for another guy. So he gets the light and you don't. George Pickens, when you said I didn't want to block for this man because I was afraid to get hurt, you've lost every bit of respect from every person in that locker room. Everybody. Ain't no one respect you. Jalen Warren even said, hey, man, if it was me, I'd have blocked for him, but it is what it is. Props to Jalen Warren for not blowing this up because he could have really had a problem. What the fuck? Man, like, I'm having a better year than you. Get blocked for me, boy. Like, you know what I mean? Like, what are you doing? Like, you ain't doing nothing this year, you know? And it's like, it's just one of those things where it's like, yeah, you come out and say that. Like, who wants you on the team? Like who? The linemen don't want to block for the quarterback to give you the ball. You have this attitude like you're better than everyone that you deserve. And this is a problem with the kids coming up. There's this I deserve, not I earn. I deserve the ball. I deserve to be one of the no, you earn it. You earn the ball. You earn the respect. You earn everything. And that's the problem. And people are saying it starts going to these college days now with these NILs. People are starting to expect things, not earning them, expect things. And you're seeing all across, but it's unfortunate the Steelers, because of Mike Tomlin, who he is, and how respected he is. He's had, I mean, talk about Deontay Johnson, another prima donna, and he's had Juju, Juju, all in all, wasn't that bad compared to AB and Le'Veon Bell, but it's time after time he's got these players, and if Mike Tomlin can't get to these guys, if Mike Tomlin, who has got probably respect for everyone respects him. I don't think there's one person, one player in the league that doesn't respect Mike Tomlin. If he can't fix their attitude in 2 years, yeah, I think it's time to get a second round pick for him like Claypool. You can flip him because I mean I think he has a little bit more talent than Claypool, so I think people would give up a second round for him. But man, if I'm the Steelers and I can get a second round pick, I am very much looking at flipping him and Deontay Johnson because I mean you can't win anything with players like that on your team. You know what I mean? They aren't willing to sacrifice. So I mean, there's a little bit of rant because I've bet on George Pickens ever since he came out. I was riding from him. He's amazing, and then he goes and does something like that, and it's like I gotta hop off the bandwagon, right? Because I cannot support someone like that. I just can't.
Okay, well, what's your thoughts?
I agree, but I'm a disagree in a couple of things that you're saying. Right, I get it from a respect standpoint. You got to earn the right to receive the ball. But in Pittsburgh, regardless if you earn the right or not, I mean nobody's getting the ball. They can't move the ball. You understand? So you're coming from a kid who's extremely talented, who's usually always open, and he's being missed every time, or he's not getting targets. And when you have someone like him who has a weak mental fortitude, in a sense, when he's not, he weighs his impact, like Shannon Sharp said, he values himself based on catches and touchdowns. So he's stat checking. If he only has 2 catches for 12 yards and the team wins, he's sitting at the end of the bench pouting. But if he has 8 catches for 160 yards and they lose, I'm pretty sure he's like, well, I did my part. And it goes back to what you're saying, right? He's been the guy. I'm pretty sure George Pickens has been the guy ever since he hit puberty or ever since he hit his growth spurt. You've had people telling him every day, every hour on the hour, you're great, you're this, you're that. You know what I'm saying? And when you don't keep that in check or you don't, you know, allow him to develop a sense of humility, it gets out of control. And this is what you see. You're on the largest level of of football you can get. This is the highest level you can get. And there's guys that will slit your throat to have your position on the field and will kill themselves blocking somebody just to be on the team. Second round pick, super talented or not, you're only as talented as your oh damn, I was about to say something profound. It
Yeah.
slipped my mind. But like I was saying, being talented only gets you so far after a while because there's someone who's less talented but has got more heart than you do that will come in and do the job that the team needs you to do. You understand? Same thing with Claypool, right? Claypool, super talented receiver, right? Does not have the heart to put in the work to be great. And you see, he's somewhere warming a bench now. Same thing with Juju. Juju, but I don't think it was more of a problem, like you said, with
Not
the
attitude, but it was
the
Yeah.
attitude. It was more like a effort kind of thing sometimes. I feel like once he hit that landmark of being all pro or Pro Bowl, whatever he was, I felt as though he plateaued himself and was like, this is as high as I go. I'm chilling. And I think that's a trend that you see with receivers that because hats off to the organization. They know how to draft these guys.
Yeah, facts.
They don't miss. You know what I'm saying? When they draft these receivers, right? But at the same time, there's something, whether it be coaching, whether it's personnel or whatever like that, they're not getting through to these guys to get them to that next level because they're all showing flashes of greatness and then they're plateauing. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
yeah.
Every last one of them was plateaued. Juju had a great year and then he just kind of plateaued. Claypool had that great year, plateau. Pickens had a great year last year, plateau. Deontay is literally just succumbed himself to just 5 and outs when he's got great route running skills. So that's my take on it. If they need to trade him, I wouldn't. Honestly, I wouldn't. I would work with him because, like Howard said, I think he's leaps and bounds more talented than Claypool. And I think in the right situation with the right coach, like say Houston with a D'Amico Ryans and a quarterback that can get him the ball, dude will set the league on fire. But if someone offers you like 3 seconds or 2 seconds for him, then I mean, and you're fed up with him, then yeah, I would take it. But I wouldn't personally trade him. I'd try to work it out because say what you want, dudes like that physical of a specimen like him, they don't come around a lot. That's hard
Yeah,
to
I
find.
remember at the beginning of the year, y'all was speaking on him as if it should be, like he should be up there with the Justin Jeffersons, the Jamar Chases of the world. And that's what his talent is. So do I feel like they should move him? I feel like they should move him for him and for the organization because you cannot have a guy that is talented, especially if y'all because it seemed like they're bought in with this Deontay Johnson situation. It felt like they want to make Deontay Johnson the man. They love him when Deontay scored. They love it when he get all the yards. And they want to make Deontay Johnson into a number one. And I don't feel like George Pickens' demeanor is a number two demeanor. I feel like he is ready to be that number one. And so if y'all are going to continue on with Deontay Johnson, and y'all quarterback is only going to be a guy that can only get to the 5 and outs, 5 and outs, 5 and outs, he's going to continue to be upset and be a cancer to y'all locker room. If I'm Pittsburgh, yeah, I'll try to get 2 seconds, a second and a third, something. If I can get that for him, I'll definitely take it because there's plenty of people out there that would be willing to make that deal to get George Pickens' talent into their organization. And if you get him with the right quarterback that can get him the ball, I feel like he'll be leaps and bounds, better. I feel like we should see George Pickens every single year within like I'll say like 1,200 yards around that, a certain amount of touchdowns.
Yeah.
So, I mean, Mike is a motivator. Mike is 1,000% a motivator. He know how to talk
Yeah.
to these guys. He know how to do all that stuff. But he's also a guy that let it go on too far. And at this point, I feel like it done got too far with this kid. I don't feel like he got the problems of like a AB or a Claypool or a Juju, where it's about they want to be stars off the field. I feel like for him, it's he want to be a star on the field, which is a good thing. That's what you want to see out of
I'm
your
glad you
player.
bring that up because I was gonna say that after you were done.
Yeah, definitely. I think he wants to be a star on the field, which that's a good thing. That's something that you can get down with. He want to be a star. He want to
Yeah.
be a guy that get the big catch. He want to be a guy, seconds on the clock. You throw it up to him and he can go get it done, make a play, all that stuff. He want to be that, which is great. But I feel like in Pittsburgh, he'll never be able to be that number one because they're more of a running team. They're hard nosed. They want to run the ball more, more, and more. Najee look like he been running in sand the past couple of years, and they keep Najee around for some reason. You know what I mean? Because they want to have that hard nosed running type game. So I think at this point, and then when they're not running, what they're doing, like you said, the 5 and outs to Deontay Johnson, they want to get Pat Fryermuth into the system where you could throw it to the tight end, all this stuff. And George Pickens just sometimes feel like he's the odd man out the same way a Claypool ended up being an odd man out. So I don't know. I feel like it's time to move on, and I feel like it'll benefit both sides. I feel like it'll benefit George Pickens because let's get him to who could use the number one receiver, Carolina, or
The Chiefs.
or the Chiefs, or get him
Ooh,
somewhere where
imagine
he
him in
could.
Kansas City.
Boy,
Yeah,
I
Jeez.
don't know.
bro, somewhere where he could be the number
Or
one, where he
Buffalo.
could get Buffalo.
We got our situation. We already got one diva. We don't need another. All right. We
But
already got one.
you get him somewhere where he can get seven to eight targets a game. I feel like he'll be happy, and I feel like it'll impact a team where it'll lead to wins. That's
I'll
how I
be
see the situation.
I'll be honest with you. I think Pittsburgh's in a winning situation if they trade him. I think they'll get good enough value for him where they can probably draft another player, whether it's on the offensive or defensive side of the ball, and a pretty good prospect because, like we said, they're pretty good at drafting. So I feel like it's literally it doesn't matter for Pittsburgh. It's a win-win because here's the thing with George Pickens: if he gets his way and gets traded to be the guy, he's learned nothing from this situation. It's like, you know what I mean? Like he's learned nothing. He pouted, he cried, he didn't block, he did all this, and he got his way getting moved. So what makes you think when he goes to another organization, his attitude's mainly going to change? I think the only way this situation actually like benefits George Pickens is if this dude sits in the mirror, looks himself in the face, and says, "Yo, I've got to change my attitude. I've got to change my persona, my attitude, the way I think. Because no matter if I go here, 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 or here, and I've got shoes to fill, and I'm the guy, and I'm gonna get the ball. It doesn't matter because all those ugly, terrible things about me, like my attitude, all that bad part of my game, it's just gonna come over here, and it might not at the first year, but the second year, the third year, that cancerous attitude, that me, all
Yeah,
about me. I don't care about no one else that will get out and the team will suffer. And he will be talking about this again. Like
But
I
he
feel like.
needs to learn.
Oh, go ahead, Kel.
But at the same time, you know what I'm saying? It kind of sucks for him because we none of us know George Pickens personally. We don't know how his mind works, how he feels about certain things. All we know is what we see on TV on Sundays,
Facts.
Mondays, and Thursdays, right?
Facts.
So we see him not blocking. We see him, on running plays, just walking up to the line. We see him, being lousy, right? And so we have this preconception judgment that he doesn't care. He just wants the ball. But like Kari said, he clearly he cares. Maybe it's being channeled in the wrong way, and I think that's something that he's got to personally work on, or that's something at the end of the day, this is a grown-ass man too, you know what I'm saying? Like, if you ain't got it by now, bro, like, you're gonna have to figure it out, because like I said,
Yeah.
someone else will do it for less money and do it 10 times as hard. Look at Claypool, right? Claypool, the same thing, right? Same thing. Didn't have no kind of work ethic whatsoever. And yeah, Claypool is probably one of the most athletically gifted receivers in the league right now, but he can't get no playing time because it's not getting through to him. You know what I'm saying?
And,
So I
and
hope Pickens is my bad. Go ahead.
oh, my bad, my bad. But the other thing is also you got to realize he also a kid on his first contract, right? These kids trying to feed mama, they're trying to feed their brothers, daddy, whoever. They trying to get that second contract, that second
Yeah.
big contract. And when your talents aren't being displayed on the field, instead of you getting that $20 million, which his talent says he'll probably deserve, he gonna get 8 million a year. You know what I mean? So I feel like that's a part of the frustration. You're not winning. You're not winning. Your team isn't winning. It's a struggle. Y'all don't even know if y'all might make the playoffs or not. And at the same time, your talents isn't being displayed. Where it's like, all right, cool. When this next contract come up, I'm gonna
Well,
be the guy in line to
Yeah, you
get
kind
this
of got a
contract.
point because ain't nobody giving nobody $20 million to block. So I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah.
facts.
I get that standpoint.
Yeah.
Yeah.